everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would just check in and do a little bit of a March update of what I've done with my dolls. Some things like the wigs I've already talked about before, but as you can see, I made him new pants. Well, actually it's not for him, it's for another doll, but I like the style on him so much, so I want to make more. But of course, more importantly, what's going on with our centaur lady? Soon, I promise. I managed actually to sand down this part a little bit more. I realized that I only had like one grit of sanding paper, which not very ideal, and so it fits a bit better, but I have all my like sanding tools and a like knockoff Dremel tool or something. I have that at home and I'm going there next week. So I'm gonna finish her and restring her in April. And yeah, now she looks like T-Rex arms. So she needs also to be like sueded and wired. Sueding I've done before, wiring never though. But I mean, it can't be that hard, right? This is the current state of things in parts. I did sand the ears though, yes. And something else that I wanted to share, just because I'm happy about it. But you know how if you sew, you always have some weird scraps of fabrics from forever ago, from like maybe just leftovers from fabrics you bought, or maybe you had a pretty dress that you didn't want to throw away because the fabric was so nice. Well, anyway, in January, I think, I started like patching stuff together to make a doll carrier bag. And it's big enough to fit all my dolls in. And I also need to make smaller carrier bags that I actually wanted to make a tutorial of. So that's coming hopefully. And the most exciting part about this bag is that the lining, I painted this myself and then I printed it. And it's just so nice. It's just such a nice, cozy, homey feel. And I also have a kind of sad doll update, but she is not beheaded, the opposite, she's bebodied. That's even a word, I don't know. Anyway, this is Flash, by the way, and she's my main character. She was on a fairy line, mini fee body, because those bodies are gorgeous. However, he is supposed to be in love with her, but she looks like a 15-year-old or something next to him, and it's just like so wrong. It's not working. So I thought, oh, you know what? I'm gonna sell the body, but taking the body off of her actually hurt, because it's like she's not there anymore. You know how it is, like you're the one doll, like she is it. Like I always say that about Alan, but really it's her. And oh yeah, by the way, this is a Youpla doll Zia, in case you wondered. Yeah. And while this is not specifically doll related, it started last year. So this is about Sylvanian families. I used to play with them as a kid. And as a kid, I always wanted to have the frog family. And I got one of the frogs for a really good deal, because these vintage ones, my goodness, they are expensive and I'm just not willing to spend that much money on them. Anyway, this one for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 euros. I found it last summer. And then she was alone. Where was Frog Mama's family? In February, I found the remaining froggies. By the way, frogs are my favorite animals, so I'm like low-key crazy about them. And then on top of that, I found a super affordable baby. Like nowhere near the hundreds of pounds that they cost on eBay. No, those prices are insane. I'm gonna spend that much on a big doll like this, but not that much on the teeny tiny frog baby that's 30. So cute, but now they're all together. And the Sylvanians have rekindled my love for building miniatures, because as a kid I was always like obsessed with building doll houses and little things, and I have all these like tiny books that I made for my tiny figurines and stuff. And I also have some old ones. But this month I went to the paper trash can and took out a bunch of cardboard. And now of course you can't see because it needs to be painted still, but I started building a dollhouse. And I'm so excited. It's gonna be super cute. I wanted to kind of film a bit of that process of like painting it as well. I did not manage to film anything of building it. So there might be some tiny things here and there, because it's nice to have multiple things so you can just go from one thing to the other, and like, because sometimes I find I cycle quite rapidly through my interests. So it's like one day I'm making pants and I'm all over these pants, and then the next day I'm like, froggies! And just not being like restricted or bound to just one thing, because I hear it a lot that it's like, why can't you just find one thing? And it's like, no, I have my one thing and I apply it to a lot of different things. That's how I do it. I've also went to the doll fair, right? The doll convention. That was an interesting experience. I can't say that I had a great time because it was just so much going on, and then my trains were late that day, and it was just a big disaster, and I was just stressed out and overwhelmed all the time. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be selling at a big convention again anytime soon. Yeah. Well, there's also her, and I put this thingy from him on her, but that's it. I didn't really do anything else with my dolls. Well, some story building, but I already kind of talked about that, so I don't really want to say it again, you know? And since a few of you asked, okay, only two, but you know who you are. Thank you. Actually, my whole channel has been created with the objective of posting about my story. Back in 2017, when I uploaded my first BJD YouTube video or something like that. Crazy long time ago. I always kind of thought that no one is interested, so I didn't really share. But since there appears to be interest, I will be talking about my dolls and their backstories very soon. So stay tuned and subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and any support, liking and commenting is always greatly appreciated. I read every single comment, and I don't reply immediately usually, but I do check frequently and always send replies. I will see you very soon with probably a few more talking videos. So I hope you have a great time. Do something with your dolls, because they always need our love and attention. Or probably we need their love and attention more than they need ours. And see you soon. Bye.